When everybody first heard that the NCAA colleges and universities was going to go ahead and shut down fall sports for the 2020 season, many began to wonder just who was going to be left when all the smoke was cleared out. And we all came to the realization that it would be the Power Five. That's right, Big 10, ACC, Pac-12, SEC, and Big 12. And guess what? Now we're down to the Power Three. Like I said, guys, since the Big 10 canceled, since the Pac-12 and the Big 10 canceled their seasons, we got Justin Fields out here with the We Want to Play petition. We got the Parents United group, the Big 10 Parents United group out here wanting to sit down and have a conversation with the Big 10 commissioner, Mr. Warren. There's a lot of things that's going on right now. Previous videos, it's been stated that there was no real formal vote done as to whether or not the Big 10 conference was going to cancel their season. So we're going to discuss this today, guys, because like I said before, this is not making any sense. And as the days go on, more and more information is starting to come out about it. But guys, I want to welcome you back to Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. And if you like the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Also, don't forget, follow us on social media. The links are listed below in the description. Let's get this work. We're now beginning to hear rumblings that athletic directors and presidents did not have a formal vote on whether or not the 2020 football season was going to be canceled. Prior to it being canceled, just 6 days after the Big 10 conference schedule was put out. To make matters even worse, you got Nebraska, University of Michigan, and The Ohio State University wanting to play. Nebraska was considering going to play in a different conference, but they caught so much flack behind the fact that the Big 10 cut them a big check for them to come over and play in the Big 10, and they didn't understand why would they want to separate themselves from the Big 10 to go somewhere else just to play for this season. Michigan, Ohio State, they had players. Well, excuse me, I'm not going to just say Michigan and Ohio State. There's been several colleges and universities out there that have required their required their college athletes to go ahead and sign those COVID-19 waiver forms, in which many of them, I know within the Big 10, I know with the Ohio State, Michigan, and a few other universities, they actually had, the players actually had representatives there with them to make sure that those forms were on the up and up prior to them signing them. So that also has parents enraged as far as why aren't these collegiate athletes allowed to get out there and participate this season? Many of them were counting on this season being a springboard for them to have a better chance at being drafted much higher than what they're currently projected. Those that are seniors, especially those that are seniors and juniors. Within the last 24 hours, guys, I tell you no lie. When I sat back and saw this article come up about Iowa canceling 4 sports at their university because of the shortfall being caused by football not happening this season, they had to go ahead and let go of 4 sports that, you know, has really put them in a bind. Right now, I think on average, you're going to have universities losing anywhere from probably $50 to $100 million based on this decision that was made. And the crazy thing about it is a lot of these schools, they're going to try to do whatever it takes to find ways to get that money just so that they can maintain the athletic department. You got to remember, guys, the money that's coming in every Saturday for parking, paraphernalia, your concession stands, tickets, so on and so forth. That money is being used for just not only football, for other things that's on campus as well. Football is a very big draw. And you got a lot of these universities that coaches are hot. These presidents, these athletic directors, these folks are looking for answers, not to mention the parents. These parents want answers. And like I stated before, the parents want answers so bad, they have gone ahead and put together their own committee, parent committee based off what is, I believe, 11 Big 10 schools, because they sent the letter initially and it went on deaf ears. So now they say, hey guys, we got to come up with something different so that we can get ourselves in front of this, get ourselves in front of Commissioner Warren so that he can further explain exactly what's going on here. I mean, for you to cancel the season 6 days after putting out a schedule, you already have the college athletes signing these COVID-19 waiver forms, not to mention you put out the guide that you're going to use based on how you're going to conduct testing and how things are going to go if a student, if a collegiate athlete tests positive, what measures you're going to use to go ahead and make sure that everyone is made aware of what's going on. So for you to just cancel the season, boy, Mr. Warren, your hands are full right now. Your hands are tied. And then not to mention, like right before I came on to do this, this video, I saw that the University of Nebraska, they're suing the Big Ten because everybody wants answers. Like I said, these guys have been practicing since the early part of the year. They've been practicing at least 6 months in. And a lot of these parents don't understand how in the world can you cancel a season when you have the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12, they're still playing. And my biggest question, the question I have, and maybe it'll get answered within the question I have, maybe it will be answered in the upcoming days. Why didn't the Big Ten commissioner, Mr. Warren, why didn't you reach out to the ACC, the ACC, the Big 12, and the SEC medical staffs to see exactly what are they doing differently than what you guys are currently doing right now? Because I know one thing, they're discussing the saliva test. Like before, in one of the previous videos, I stated about how the COVID test for each of the players is running anywhere from $100 to $150 per player. Well, guess what? The saliva test, from what I've been told, that test is a lot cheaper than the COVID test that they were originally doing. So, and not to mention, you're getting results back quicker. So that would bode well for the Big Ten to go ahead and get them up and going if there was any concerns as far as, okay, how can we manage this? I understand the fact that you had Michigan State, they had numbers. You had Rutgers and a couple of other universities that had positive tests among those that were returning back to college. Just last week you had, who was it? Purdue with high numbers, as far as positive tests. So I understand, you're trying to do things based on the side of precaution. But again, you've already started everything in motion with having these young men sign these COVID-19 waiver forms. I'm trying to figure out, did Mr. Warren sit back and it registered in his head that you got these groups, these unity groups that started off in the Pac-12, and then the Big Ten started a unity group in which they had these requirements that they wanted from the conference, and the conference was not going to budge or bend on that. So I'm trying to figure if that played a part in them making him making the decision that he made or what. But right now, his leadership is really being questioned because of the fact that you can't provide these parents an answer to a question. You haven't provided these presidents or athletic directors answers to questions. All that has come out about the meeting that you had with the presidents is that you had some that wanted to play. I think it was like 4 or 5 teams, 4 or 5 universities that wanted to play. You had another 4 or 5 that was on the fence. And then you had some that just, they sat back and they were quiet. Well, I'm willing to bet if the ones that were quiet and didn't say anything at all said they wanted to play, the Big Ten probably will be playing right now. But because they sat back and didn't have a voice, or didn't use their voice, now we're sitting here with parents in an uproar. And guys, you already know, me sitting here thinking back just from youth to middle school to high school and now to college, the game don't change. It's just the level of competition. And trust me, when it comes to them parents and their kids, they want to understand what's going on. So, Mr. Warren, I'm asking you, brother, when are you going to step forward, come to the podium, and let everybody know what the real reason was for why you canceled the season? But, we're going to go ahead and continue to keep an eye on this situation, because this situation is going to be very interesting, especially with these parents now, coming together and they're beginning to start protesting because they're demanding answers. And like I said, it makes no sense when you make a decision this bold and as quick as he did, especially right after you put out the schedule for the 2020 season, and then you got these kids out here signing petitions and they want to play, or they're trying to find ways or find a means for them to go somewhere else and participate for the season. This is a big mess. And trust me, if this does not turn out right, the Big Ten is going to look bad. And Mr. Warren, I know this is your first year on the job, my brother. It's going to not look good. But guys, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Also, remember, follow us on social media. The links are listed below in the description. Please continue to drop them comments. Drop them comments, hit them likes, man. Hit them likes out there and drop them comments. And always remember, guys, be that one and lead.